Hello, I'm Fantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to talk about the 9th REMDra Fever No Dark tournament that has come to North America. So, REMDra Fever ranking dungeons are a special type of event where players will be trying to achieve a high score in every run, but your scores are cumulative, which means if you hit the cap of 999,999, you'll receive the full rewards, but it's cumulative for all the previous runs. So let's say every run is 50,000 for simplicity's sake. 20 runs, you're done. You get a crown. It also doesn't matter who or when you achieve the million point cap. The idea is any number of players can achieve a crown, but you want to obviously try to get there in the most fast, efficient way possible, because playing this without a coherent strategy will result in much lower scores. It would take many more efforts to try and clear, and it just might tax your mental sanity. So this article will explain my thought process on how you can score as high as possible, along with what you can do once you've already achieved the point cap. One noticeable difference for this event is that we do receive some bonus points for matching a TPA. I would only do so when it's convenient. Combos are much more valuable by comparison. So let's take a look at how this dungeon works. So REMDra scoring works differently compared to regular ranking tournaments. The idea is that you enter the dungeon and you are level 1. You'll have to clear a certain number of orbs in the bottom corner. It's shown in the bottom right-ish corner above or near where your cards are. And it will be 30 orbs you have to clear in order to level up. When you level up, you receive more points for every combo, which in turn means you want to try and level up as much as possible, which means prolonging your run. In addition to that, in order to finish the run, you have to erase 40 orbs of a specific color. And the specific color you need to erase is the REMDra color that spawns. So if it's the red REMDra that spawns, you have to match 40 red orbs to end the dungeon. But as I mentioned already, you want to try and level up as much as possible, which in turn means you want to delay or avoid matching the color in particular, because it will allow you to achieve a higher score over higher levels, which means your score will be higher. So to reiterate, you need to clear orbs of that specific color to finish the dungeon, but you should try your best to avoid matching them in the early levels to maximize your score. It is a little convoluted and counterintuitive, but if you want to score high, you want to try and avoid matching that orb. In addition to that, there is a certain timer that ticks down periodically, and when you level up, you fully restore that timer, but the timer amount will be shorter every time you level up, so it gets harder and harder to combo. But to help kind of offset this, you can try and time your levels up when you're about to run out of time, or you match heal orbs. Matching heal orbs will heal back some of that timer, which gives you more time to obviously match orbs. Finally, all active skills are charged when you enter the dungeon, but you can only use an active skill once per attempt. So it doesn't matter if you wait for X number of turns for how long it normally takes for an active to charge up, you only get to use it a single time. So, taking all those above points into consideration, what are the general strategies we want to try and employ? Well, firstly, we want to try and level up as much as possible. Points are directly tied to your level, and the more combos you make at a higher level, the more points, of course. You want to try and always make sure you match as little as possible to level up. Let's say you are 26 out of 30 on level 1. That means 4 more orbs will level you up. So if you match a blob of 4, or a TPA in this case for bonus points, you'll level up to the next level. If you were to match many combos, you would level up and then possibly run the risk of more of the problematic color falling down. So you're trying to minimize the combos you make in the earlier levels. You can even make 0 combos to kind of set up and rearrange your board if that makes a difference. And as mentioned already, you want to avoid matching that specific color, and you want to use the orb changers I list down below to help you out in that case. And remember, higher combos at higher levels equals more points. This may sound reasonably intuitive, but you have to exercise a certain degree of patience. And last thing I want to mention is when you are trying to level up, it only counts or cares about the number of orbs erased. If you match a blob of 6 versus 2-3 combos, you still get the same level up progression of clearing 6 orbs. So we are given 5 cards for this dungeon. Each card has their own orb changer, but not every orb changer is relevant for every REMDra. So remember, you want to try and avoid matching the color of the spawn for as long as possible, and these are the orb changers you should be utilizing. So if it is the red REMDra that spawns, the first orb changer I like to use is Zeal, because Zeal will change fire to wood, which, wow, look at that, we don't have to match the problematic color. And then later on, when there becomes too many red orbs, once again, you utilize Verdandi into Hanzo. That will give you a full board of light, wood, and heart orbs. Again, the whole idea is to take away the fire orbs. You could technically just use Hanzo, but I like to do Verdandi then Hanzo because a tricolor board is pretty much going to always give you probably 8, maybe 9 combos. Easier to solve, and the heart orbs replenish the timer, which in turn makes it easier to not perish prematurely. And again, just follow this chart through for whatever color ends up spawning and utilize the orb changers accordingly. For myself, like I said already, I like using tricolors last because they do make hearts, which in turn gives you more time to match orbs and just easier to solve a tricolor board changer. Another thing I want to mention is that if you were trying to utilize cascades, which is the art of matching combos and letting orbs fall down in a specific predetermined pattern to get additional combos, is meaningful because this timer is a special kind of timer. It only ticks down when you're allowed to move orbs. Once you've dropped your orb and stopped matching, it will actually not tick down anymore. That means the extra animation that always comes along with cascading is not punished. So cascading should be encouraged because it gives you a higher chance of a skyfall of actually occurring. In addition to that, there are lucrative rewards for clearing this dungeon. And if you have already hit the point cap necessary to crown, you may want to actually just keep replaying the dungeon over and over again, especially if you're burnt out from Gung Ho Collab pie farming, because it does give a wider variety of rewards, and some of them are quite lucrative for the 25 stamina cost. And coming to that fast farming concept, once you have achieved the point cap, you can utilize the orb changers in the reverse manner to give yourself faster clears. So the idea of this is you're trying to actually generate or make the problematic color. So if you get the red REMDra spawn, you should use either one of your tricolor board changers. You probably have to use both of them eventually, and they make a third of the board red, which you want to try and match as fast as possible. If you get the light spawn, you do Verdandi, Zeal, then Fuma. That gives you an entire board of light. That's 30 out of the 40 necessary to finish the dungeon. It just makes your life faster overall. And then for the wood REMDra, you use Verdandi and Zeal, and then you get a 2/3 board of wood. It makes it easier to finish the run quickly. Remember, this approach will give you low scores and faster clear times, but if you haven't actually hit your point cap necessary for the crown, I would utilize this strategy. So, what does all of this look like? Well, I'm going to go play through one run of REMDra Fever right now and walk you through the thought process of what you need to do for this dungeon. So I have my reference image on the side to give me an idea of what orb changers I want to use. So for this spawn here, I've encountered the yellow draw, which means I can use Verdandi or Norn or Erd at any point in time to remove all those orbs and give me a tricolor board. So for the first few levels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and actively avoid matching light orbs. Don't try and match them. I'll actually bring them to the bottom of the board, and I will utilize TPAs just to give myself a little bit more zest when I'm matching the other orbs, because I want to try and match up to 30 orbs at some point. And I'm just going to be happily bringing my orbs around. I'm just doing my best to make sure no light orbs match accidentally. I need 6 more orbs to level up, so I'm going to keep that in mind and do that. That's 6. I leveled up. So I'm going to see how long I can actually cheese this out before I need to use an orb changer, board changer. Like, it is sometimes possible to get more out. I'm getting close to finishing this. This is nice. Just pray no letter. Perfection. Avoiding the orbs is important. And then I'm going to just match again. And I'm just trying to... Well, I can match TPA here because combo count's not really going to matter because I'm at such a high level. Or low level, I should say. Okay, I've almost finished this level here. I'm going to try and avoid matching additional combos to preserve the chance of less light orbs coming down. So I leveled up. I'm going to get that timer replenish. And I'm going to try and match non-light orbs as much as possible at the top still. And probably utilize the orb board changer on the next turn. Or next level. You don't get any bonus for heal TPAs. I need to match 7 orbs total. Whoops. I'll just do this then. All right. Oh, never mind. I can't count. Oops. Okay, I still don't need to use a board changer yet, but I might soon, I feel. I'm just going to use it now. It's getting crowded. And now what I want to try and do is match... what's it called? Whatever. I want to try and combo now because I've out of orb changers to use to make my life easier. So I'm going to have to combo it out now. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have matched the light TP there. I thought I didn't have a multiple of 3. Okay, on to the next level. So the key of getting very, very high scores now is just getting lots of Skyfalls, which is obviously difficult to do. Oh, I didn't match the hearts. Whoops. I got them anyways. Level up. Okay. It's getting very tight to move orbs at this point in time, so I just need to make sure I combo quicker. There we go. I'm leveling up. I got to focus on where I want to match. As long as I don't get a couple more light Skyfalls there, perfect. Oh, fish me. That's the worst thing to possibly do. Well, I messed up the last combo, but like I average around like high 30s, low 40s, like high 30s, I'd say every run. And the idea is if you utilize the orb changers in that pattern, and you might get lucky with Skyfalls, your scores could be significantly higher. But remember, the drops are pretty nice. It doesn't take exceptionally long to do a clear, but if you can get a much higher average score, you need less runs overall, which will probably save you time as well. So hopefully this video provides you with some insight and or inspiration to what you need to do for REMDra Fever Dungeons. They are a little bit of a different beast, so to speak, and anyone who acquires 999,999 points will receive a crown. It doesn't matter if you get it on the last day or the first day. Every player who does so will achieve that crown. So hopefully you all have a fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.